And so we'll figure out how that's going to work out here on YouTube, because another app I believe is utilizing my my stream. So YouTube, here we go. We're live on YouTube as well. So we got YouTube, we got Instagram, and we got Facebook. All three of you guys are live, right? So chapter one that I talk about in my book is about having a victim mentality. So having a victim mentality, what is that about? Victim mentality. Hmm? I'm sure a lot of you guys know what having a victim mentality is about. If you don't, you probably have a victim mentality, guys. Think about it. What's a victim mentality? It is failing to take responsibility, failing to take responsibility for things that happen in your life. Benny, what's up, brother? Thank you. But having a victim mentality is failing to take responsibility. Okay, so chapter one, I mean, I taught you guys about gratitude. I'm getting out of the way over here. But in chapter one, I'm talking about that victim mentality. If you have a victim mentality, guys, I'm gonna tell you what, you're gonna have a bad life. You can't live that victim mentality. And right now, I don't have my glasses on; they're broken here, uh, which is awesome. It is awesome. And I reason why I say so many things are awesome, right? Is because you cannot predict, right, that something like that would happen. And so when the fact that you don't predict it, it makes it awesome. I can still put my glasses on. It's one-sided, but I can still read. That's it. Um, and in my book, I talk about when there was a time in my life where I was trapped. I was trapped having a victim mentality of not being responsible. And so many people run around in life and they don't want to take responsibility of their life, right? They don't want to take responsibility of things that they have done, right? So people do something wrong, and even as adults, they don't want to take responsibility for what they have done wrong. You can't be like that, right? If you want to take back your life, if you want to have the power in your life, then you can't have the victim mentality. And I go into that in chapter one, and I talk about some stories of having a victim mentality. Guys, once again, I say you guys can pick up the book, you can download and listen. You guys that have already purchased my book, first and foremost, I want to thank you 100%, guys. You guys have done my sales fantastic in the new book already. And I also want to ask you guys, when you buy the book, leave me a review on Amazon. Top 25 mistakes in Route to the Bad Life. Leave me a review on Amazon, guys. I want hundreds and hundreds of reviews. I want to hit that Amazon top sellers list. I want to be the Amazon top seller. All right. So let's make April a good month for Lieutenant Sal Blue. That's right. In the top 25 mistakes. Okay. But as I said, guys, having a victim mentality, um, what it does is it causes you to let excuses get in your way from moving forward. That's all. It allows you to make excuses to get in your way from moving forward. Things are going to happen in your life no matter what, right? That's just life. Things happen in life, you know. We can talk about children, unexpected pregnancies, right? You know, unexpected pregnancy happens, and you have to move forward. And you don't try to give your child back, right? So the same thing happens when other things happen in your life. You know, you lose a job, you get into a car accident, you know, you have a health issue. When those things happen, you don't try to unhappen them because time doesn't stop. Time moves forward. So what you have to do is you have to take what happened and you have to move forward with that. Having a victim mentality stops that growth process. You can't have a victim mentality, guys. And I'm telling you, it is a silent killer having a victim mentality. Thank you, Brian. Give me a shout out, checking me out. Make sure you guys also check out my book, live on Amazon today. Uh, Another thing, I'm not going to, later on, I'm going to get deep into each chapter. But I just want to kind of give a brief of all the chapters. And then I want to do a little bit of teaching and also doing a giveaway. Doing a giveaway, some cash prizes or whatever. I can't see you guys on Instagram. Are you guys there? Yep, you guys are there. That's awesome. Good to see you. Good to see you. Don't mind me here. I'm just pulling up here. I'm live, all the way live on YouTube. Hopefully you guys can see me. I got a obsidian block on my thing. I'll show you guys that later. The next thing that I want to talk about is in chapter 2, right? It's one thing to have a victim mentality. It's another thing that I talk about in chapter 2 that stops you. And chapter 2, I talk about right? Believing things are impossible. So believing things are impossible. How many guys believe that things are impossible? How many things do you believe are impossible? And another thing, how many of you guys categorize what you believe is possible and what you believe is not possible? And then you turn around and other people are talking about, I did this and I did that. You know, one of the things I just talked about when I started my career in law enforcement was dealing with inmates in a large group, right? You go down a big dormitory full of killers, right? Everybody's yelling and screaming, and you, as a single officer, are supposed to get them all to be quiet so that you can concentrate and take account. Seems like an impossible task, right? Seems like an impossible task when you first get there, right? Couple of months in, it's easy as cake, right? It's easy for you because you watch someone else do it. You watch the senior officer walk down there, command presence, chest out, no fear, project his voice, and tell people to be quiet and listen because he had something that was important that he needed to say and that he needed to do. He needed to take account in order for it to be peace and order in this place. So that's what he did. He went in there and he took account, you know? And when you first started, you thought it was impossible. You know, the 4-minute mile. People thought that was impossible, you know? Or 6-minute mile, 4-minute mile, I don't know, one of those miles, right? People thought it was impossible. But as soon as somebody broke that record, guess what? Next couple of months, that record was broken by 4 or 5 other people because someone shattered the belief of impossible. You guys have to shatter that every day. Every day that you think something is impossible, you need to write it down and figure out. Do some homework, guys. Do some homework. Figure out who has did what you think they can't do. Who has done it? Right? Hey, Bobby, how's it going, brother? Just promote my book. Make sure you go on to Amazon, give me a review. Okay? It's Lieutenant Sal Blue, top 25 mistakes en route to the good life. That's right. Make sure you guys go on Amazon and give me a review. I want to be on the Amazon top sellers list, guys. All right? Amazon top sellers list. Chapter 3. Chapter 3. Let's talk about chapter 3 real quick. All right. Chapter 3, I call it busy work, right? But the name of chapter 3 is actually, all right, focusing on activity. So chapter 3, guys, is focusing on activity. Focusing on activity. Now, how many of you guys out there doing busy work? I'm saying busy work. Just, when I talk about busy work, and one of the things that I talked about in my book is the wife honeydew list, right? My wife has a tremendous, a unprecedented, and incredible honeydew list the day I retire. Tons of work to keep me busy for a month of Sundays. But a lot of it is just busy work, right? So a lot of it is a lot of things that go through people's mind and just their activities to hold you over until the boss gets home to tell you what they really need you to do, right? So that's what I call the honeydew list. Honeydew list is like an activity list. It's a, it's a list of wishes. Now, if you are really trying to get something done, you can't be focusing on activity. You can't be focusing on busy work. You have to be focusing on results. So when I talk about focusing on activity, it was one of my mistakes because activity don't get shit done. Activity don't get nothing done, guys. It's results that we're looking for. So if you're out there and you're starting a business and you're talking to a bunch of people about, hey man, I should start a business, what you think? Hey, I should start a business, what you think? And so now you go home and you feel good because you talk to a bunch of people about you starting thinking about starting a business. You haven't done the research, right? Or maybe you're the guy that needs to read another book, right? You need to read another book about how to start a business. You need to read another book about investing. You need to read another book about working out. You need to read another book about health. And you haven't stepped down to take one step toward your health. You haven't backed off from the bad foods that you're eating, sweets, whatever it is, man. Everybody has their hits, things that they're dealing with, and things that they know they can do better. Everybody has that. What are you doing in your life to stop yourself from just focusing on activity, to take your mind off it? One of the things that people do to focus on activity is what? They pick up their phone. I don't have my phone on me, but they pick up their phone. They pick up their phone and they start scrolling. Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is, and they just scroll with no purpose, right? They're not really looking for anything. They're just scrolling just to brainwash their mind to feel that it's doing something. That's how most people go through their phones every day. They wake up and brainwash themselves to make them think that they're being productive. Productivity is just what it is. Productivity is having results, okay, measurable results that you can get into, that you can write down and say, I achieved this, I achieved that. That's productivity, okay? The next thing I'm talking about, guys, is chapter 4. Chapter 4, for me, I believe, guys, is very, very important to a lot of people because I think most people are overly cautious. And I'm not talking about just people who aren't in law enforcement, right? A lot of people in law enforcement, a lot of us are A-type personalities. When we go out there and we're getting it done because we are in a regiment of getting things done, making things happen. But a lot of people aren't in law enforcement. So a lot of people sit back and they're overly cautious about things that they need to do in their life. They're so fearful, so afraid, so gentle about pushing through barriers to make life happen for themselves. So chapter 4 and mistake number 4, guys, is being overly cautious. So I'm writing chapters, but I meant to write mistakes. So I'll correct this later. So overly cautious, guys. What is overly cautious going to get you? It's going to get you nowhere, guys. Overly cautious is going to get you, right? Sitting at home on your couch, I don't know, eating fucking bonbons and doing nothing with your life. That's what overly cautious is going to get you. Overly cautious is going to cause you not to have the life that you want because, right, you're afraid to take that first step. You're afraid. Listen, a lot of times that first step, you don't know what that first step is going to do for you. You don't know where it's going to take you, right? You don't know whether it's going to be a complete failure or whether it's going to be a success because it's the first step, guys. It is the first step. So a lot of times we don't know, right? And the reason why most of us don't know, and to be honest, right? The reason why most of us don't know is because we don't want to ask for help. We don't want to ask somebody for help because we don't want to look stupid, right? We don't want to be the guy who didn't know how to do what he should have known how to do. I've seen that far too many times throughout my career. People who have ruined their career just because they didn't ask somebody who knew better, right? They didn't ask somebody who had the knowledge, okay, to help them through the situation that they were dealing with. You know, whether it was an arrest, whether it was a count, and we're dealing with inmates, we did tons of counts, right? Whether it was a domestic situation that we're dealing with on the street, whether it was an evidence find, something that we're doing, and it just ruined the evidence. Listen, tons of things that people could have avoided if they would have just asked someone who knew better. One of the most dangerous things to be is the smartest person in the room. That's right. The smartest person in the room. Why the hell would you want to be the smartest person in the room? Right? All that means is, guess what? You're not learning anything. You're not learning anything because you are the one just answering all the questions. Right? You're not growing from the people who are learning from you. Right? You're growing only when you're forced to stretch, to go further outside of your comfort zone, outside of your boundaries. So that is I said chapter number 4, but that was mistake number 4. So mistake number 5, guys, is a doozy, and it's the reason why a lot of people don't do well in life. So we're gonna go with 5, right? Mistake number 5 is unable to embrace change. Unable to embrace change. So, guys, unable to embrace change. What is one constant? The only constant on this planet, in your life, the only constant. Change. Change is the only constant. So, for people not to be willing to embrace change, what they're doing is they're trying to put their life on hold. They're trying to pause it so that they can emotionally catch up to the pace of which life is moving. And you can't do that, guys. You can't do that. Change is inevitable, right? Um, And you got to be comfortable with it. You got to be comfortable with change. You got to be able to embrace change. You got to be able to take change in and understand that without change, there can be no good in your life, right? A lot of people associate change with bad, but and it can be any type of situation, right? Life moves in seasons, and those seasons, good and bad, all associate with change. So after every bad season, you will have a good season in life. And you guys have to understand that. And in order to understand that, you guys have to let go, all right, and embrace change. You guys have to let go and embrace change. It's a beautiful thing if you guys let go, right, and embrace change. The next mistake is a funny chapter. I laughed about it, and it was going to work just to pay the bills, right? How many of you guys got trapped into that one, right? So mistake number 6, going to work just to pay the bills. And you guys ask me, well, how else would I go to work? What else would I do? Why would I not go to work to pay my bills? Because that is not going to give you any growth. It's not going to give you any passion. You're not going to put the type of energy into your job that you need to put into your job. Okay. So when you go to work just to pay your bills, you get trapped in a vicious cycle of the first and the 15th, right? That vicious first and 15th of the cycle. I've made hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars throughout my career, okay? And a lot of my career, I was trapped in that vicious cycle of the first and the 15th. You know, I extended my credit as if I was a millionaire, but only made $150,000 a year, okay? So I would live my life behind every month waiting for my paycheck to come to pay my bills, right? Have plenty of money to pay my bills, right? But I extended myself so far ahead that I couldn't stop the bleeding. And not being able to stop the bleeding, I mean that the bills kept coming in and the bills kept getting more and more and more. I had 2 or 3 vehicles, and I was just spending money on things that rust, rot, and depreciate. And I wasn't putting my money towards smart investing, things that could compound interest and things that could gain value as they went along. I just put my money toward things that other people thought were cool. You know, you pull up in a new car and everybody's like, oh man, look at that nice car. A month later, you're still in the same car, still paying the bills, guys. So don't invest your money in things that rust, rot, and depreciate. Don't do that. Okay? And don't go to work just to pay the bills. You should be working, right? And your bills shouldn't even come up to 30% of what you make. 30% of what you make should be your bills. And I'm not here to give you a money lesson, but I am here to tell you that when you're going to work each and every day and all you're doing is paying bills on the 1st and the 15th, you start to dislike your job, whatever it is. You start to lose your energy. You start to lose your passion for why you got into your job in the first place. And every day it becomes a struggle. And guys, you don't want that. You don't want every day to become a struggle. So mistake number 6 I talked about is going to work just to pay the bills. We lived off of that, just paying the bills. Society always talked about paying the bills, and it turned everything into a survival. You were just trying to survive, right? Just to pay your bills. So do your research, guys. Do your research. Going to work just to pay the bills, you're not gonna have a happy life. All right? You're gonna be miserable. The next mistake, guys, is mistake number 7. This mistake didn't go over too well with a lot of people that I know because a lot of people that I know are extreme. So mistake number 7, guys, is having too strong convictions. Having too strong convictions. So, as I talk about having too strong convictions, guys, let me ask you a question. Why do you believe what you believe? Whatever it is. Whatever it is. That's right, whatever it is. Why do you believe what you believe? Did you read it? Did you experience it? Or, like most people, did somebody tell you that that's what you should believe? You know, in my book, I talk about 2 stories. I talk about religion and I talk about politics when it comes to having strong convictions. 2 things that I needed to work with as far as my convictions were. Not that it changed who I was or why I believe what I believe, but I make it a point of every year ridding myself of convictions that I had about a certain topic or a certain deep belief or a certain emotion that I had towards something. So having too strong a conviction is powerful, guys. Having too strong a conviction is powerful because it blurs your vision. It blurs your vision, and you guys have seen it. You guys have seen it. You may not want to say it, but you have seen it. You have seen it in politics, right? You've seen it in religion. You've seen it in relationships, gender biasing. You've seen it in racial disparity. You guys seen it everywhere. Having too strong a conviction. And these people have had these convictions because someone else told them to have it. They didn't do the math, right? They didn't put it together. They didn't say, oh, I've calculated this over time, and this is why I have this particular belief. They did not do that, right? They did not do that. Someone who hates Democrats because they represent the poor people, okay? Or someone who hates Republicans because they represent the rich people, or Republicans have to be a certain type of person, right? Or Democrats need to be a certain type of person. This is used against us for years and years and years, guys, and you got to learn how to eliminate your convictions so that you can grow through your own knowledge, right? Through your own knowledge. Religions, right? It's such a strong separation of religions from Judaism to Christianity to Islam, and everybody's saying this religion is right and this religion is wrong. And I'm telling you guys, you have to read all 3. You know, read the Quran, read the Torah, read the Bible, read all 3, and then make your decision. Right? Don't make your decision because that's what your parents did. All right? You're grown now. Make your decisions, okay, and make an educated guess on why you have done what you have done. Make an educated guess about it, guys. Oh, by the way, I'm talking about my book, Top 25 Mistakes, guys. Make sure you hop on Amazon, give me a review, pick up your copy. All right. At the end of this, I'm going to be giving away a few autographed copies. Guys. I'm going to these are going to be collector's items. All right, so I'm gonna give away some autographed copies of this book as I take this to the Amazon top sellers list. All right, so Make sure you guys jump on Amazon, give me a review, and also get your copy. You can download it also on Kindle. On Kindle, I'm going to be putting all of this later on Audible as well. So you have got to be able to grab it on Audible. Not yet though, but already you can get the paperback copy or you can get Kindle. So it's Lieutenant Sal Blue's top 25 mistakes in life for better life. All right. The next one I'm going to talk to you guys about is chapter number 8, or mistake number 8. And that's having a greater passion for your sports team than you have for, and I'll put a dot, dot, dot next to it, because you figure out what you needed to have a greater passion for than your sports team. So mistake number 7, guys. Mistake number 8, I mean. All right. Now, when I started this off to check off, I want you guys to know, listen, I was a season ticket holder. As a matter of fact, me and one of my best friends, Tony Pitt, I was not only a season ticket holder for the Jets, I was also a season ticket holder for the Nets, right? So I love sports, always loved sports, right? And not just the sport, but the athletes, okay, and how they worked so hard to perfect their craft, to become better at who they are and what they did. And that's one of the biggest things I admire about sports is the dedication that somebody puts toward their craft, guys. And if someone works extremely hard to put that type of dedication toward their craft, then hey, they need to be applauded. You know, so bravo and cheer for my sports fans. But here's the issue, guys. When you have a greater passion for your sports team than you have for your marriage, right? That's crucial. When you have a greater passion for your sports team than you have for your children, right? Or being a parent, okay? When you have a greater passion for your sports team than you have for your job, your career, something you have chosen to do for the rest of your life, right? I see people all day long, they get up, down. Listen, there are people that have killed themselves because their sports team have lost a game, right? There are people that have gotten into fights, you know, thrown in jail because their sports team didn't win the Super Bowl or they lost the playoffs or they lost the World Cup, you know, and they're so bent out of shape that they ended up fighting maybe the rival team or one of their friends just because that happened, you know. But those same people don't have the same passion when it comes to getting a project done at work, right? Where's that passion at, guys? Where is it? Where's that same fire that breathes inside of you when you're watching a game? You know, when you're playing with your child, right? When you got the child out in the park, show them that same passion and energy when your favorite quarterback throws a touchdown. Where's that at, guys? Right? Where's that same passion and energy, okay, when it comes to, you know, 20, 30-year marriage? Where's it gone, right? Show me that same energy towards your wife, taking out on date nights and still romancing her as you did in the beginning. These things are important. These things are important to life, right? Not whether your team wins or loses the game. So, chapter 8, having a greater passion for your sports team than your wife or your girlfriend or your children or your career is suicide. And it is suicide because it is the most direct route to a bad life, to a bad life. Live the ups and downs of your career based on your sports team. Okay. Mistake number nine, guys. Mistake number nine is thinking that being yourself is good enough. Yes, I know. For all of you mamas, boys, and princesses, this is probably a blow of all blows for you. How many of you have heard this? You're good just the way you are. How many of you heard that? Tell the truth. How many of you have had your parents say it, or your friends say it, or your husband or your wife or what? How many of you have heard them say it? You are good just the way you are. Tell the truth, guys. Tell the truth. Give me some answers here. All right. I'm gonna raise my hand. I've heard it said. Mom said it. Friend said it. Wife said it. They're all liars. That's right. I said it. Every single one of them are lying. And the reason why they're lying is most people don't want you to change. Most people want to become comfortable with who you are in the position, the hierarchy of whatever relationship that you're in. So if you're in a relationship and the hierarchy of that relationship is you're at the bottom and they're at the top, they want to stay that way. Okay? If the hierarchy of your relationship is they're the parent and they know more than you and you're the child and you don't know as much as they do, they would like to stay that way. Emotionally, your parents want you to do more and be more, but a lot of times people have very, very difficulty allowing you to outshine them or to be better or to become different. Because becoming different, okay, creates a whole new challenge for them because, hey, they don't know whether they're going to like the new person you become. Or they don't know whether the new person you become is going to move on and move them out of your life. So understand that, right? Being yourself, okay, is not good enough. In order to have more in life, you have to change. In order to have more in life, you have to be more. Okay? You have to become more. You have to evolve. Okay? A caterpillar can't stay a caterpillar his entire life. A caterpillar has to grow and become a butterfly. The same goes for you guys. You cannot stay in the same place thinking you're going to have a good life. Staying in the same place only causes, okay, grief. Hey, Shelby. Staying in the same place only causes you grief, okay, and pain. You can't have a good life and have the same thing because change, okay, is always occurring around you. So if you're trying to stay the same, right, and change is always coming around you, what does that do for you? You are constantly behind. You are constantly waiting, okay, for someone else to tell you what to do next because you missed the boat, guys. You missed the boat. Johnny B, what's going on, Johnny B? You jumping on? You want to win this cash I'm giving away at the end of this webinar, Johnny B? Stay on and check me out, man. I'm giving away some cash. Okay. Mistake number 10, guys, is not knowing how to get things done. Not knowing how to get things done. So who's the guy at work that don't know how to get things done? Who is he? You know who he is. You know who he is because you can't stand him. And why can't you stand the guy, right? The guy that can't get things done at work. Why can't you stand him? Because when you're getting things done at work, then all of the stuff gets piled on your plate. All of the things that he hasn't done at work get passed on to the people that get the work done. In every corporation, in every business, whether it's law enforcement, whether it's in corporate America, all the work is usually done by a small fraction of people. And then there's other people who are just there who do the bare minimum, who do barely enough to keep their jobs, let alone, okay, help you to get some of the load done. Um, the people who aren't able to get things done, they're gonna have a bad life. So um, let that be something. Let that be something that you comfort yourself with when you're out there, you're hustling and you're working for growth and you're working for change and you're getting things done at work. Don't think of it as the bosses give you all the work. Just think of it as all of the things that he's giving me right now are going to allow me to have so much more growth in my life because I'm doing more and I'm learning more. All right. And I'm able to get things done. And being able to get things done is habit forming. It's habit forming, believe it or not. Right? Habits create good life, or habits create bad life. So if you are running around with a bad habit of not being able to get things done, I promise you guys will have a bad life. Uh, Next thing I want to talk about here, guys, give me a minute here. So, that's my Shelby. Let me let Shelby up the steps and I'll be right back, guys. Give me a minute. All right. All right, guys. Like I said before, I'm talking about my new book, Lieutenant Sal Blue. That's me. That's my pseudonym. I'm not gonna keep saying that, but it is my new book. Hop on Amazon. Give me a review. I want to hit the Amazon top 25 list of top sellers. Give me a review on Amazon. It is live on Amazon. You could get the paperback sent to your house, or you can download the ebook if you want. Ebook is a little bit slightly different than the paperback. I made some editing after I wrote the paperback and launched it already to the ebook. So I may put a second edition out. But guys, go on Amazon, give me a review, check it out. It's Lieutenant Sal Blue's top 25 mistakes en route to the good life. It is on Amazon right now. So check it out, guys. I'm doing a little bit of teaching today. I'm just talking about the book and some of the chapters that I've gone through. And one of the most important chapters I talked about was the first one, which was having a victim mentality. So we talked about having a victim mentality, and I talked about at least 10 chapters already, guys. So what I want to talk to you guys about now is how to start moving toward a good life, right? And one of the most important things that I like to talk about is I go on my circles here, all right? In the middle of those circles is the good life. My circles are horrible, but don't worry about it. You guys want to have the good life, obviously, right? You guys want to have the good life, and what a lot of you guys try to do is you try to do tons of things that won't allow you to get that good life. One of the most important things I need you guys to start doing, okay, is and you can call it whatever you want. For me, I call it mentoring up, right? The reason why I call it mentoring up is because a lot of people ask advice from their friends, right? The buddies, people that are in their circle. Like, hey, should I invest in Bitcoin? Oh yeah, man, I heard about Bitcoin. Yeah, I think you should invest in Bitcoin. And and when they do this, what they don't realize is your circle of influence. And that is why one of the most important things that I had to do was step out of my circle of influence and start reaching out to people who just knew more than me. People who made me feel uncomfortable with my current status quo, how I was living my life. People who made me feel uncomfortable with that, right? It is a good thing to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. That is the only way you are going to be forced to grow, right? If you live every day in jubilation, I promise you, you will not strive to become more and do more, okay? Because anybody who is living their daily life in jubilation is either high or they're not trying to give value to people, right? Because everybody is not on your level, okay? And, and which means that you may have to reach down to help some people up. And in order to do that, you may have to reach up to pull yourself up. So only from a position higher can you help someone who has doesn't have as much as you, who can't hasn't learned as much as you have. After mentoring up, guys, the next important thing that you need to learn how to do is time crunch. How do you time crunch? I think time crunch is extremely important. So time crunch. In order to time crunch, guys, what you need to do is you need to have number one, hopefully all you guys have your goals written down. Things that you want to do. And I'm not talking about 5-year goals. I'm not talking about 10-year goals. I'm talking about 24-hour goals, things you have to do in the next 24 hours that you've written the night before, that as soon as you wake up, you can get to. You can Kaizen first thing in the morning. You're hitting what you need to hit, which is important for you. Right? In those goals that you have, and it shouldn't be more than 3 or 4 goals for the day, right? You need to prioritize what is important for you. What's most important for you? Okay, is it a spiritual connection, guys? It is a relationship. Okay, or is it money? Is it money? And we'll talk about money. We'll talk about the pyramid later on when it comes to money. But one of the most important things, guys, is you guys need to learn how to time crunch. And how I time crunch is I have a list of things that I need to do, and I listed them all in priority. But what I do next to those things that I need to do is I reach up and find out what is the most efficient way to do what I need to do. Now, for some of you guys, listen, me, I have several mentors, probably about 4 or 5 people that I consult with in different areas of my life, right? A mentor that's maybe good spiritually, maybe horrible at money. A man who is great at money may have the worst morals in the world. Okay, you can't use everybody for everything. It just doesn't work like that. Some people are just really good at certain things, and you use them to mentor you for that specific thing. You don't monitor your life around them, okay? You monitor your life around the all of your mentors altogether. So that is how you do it, guys. Okay? So you need to, in order to have a good life, you need to mentor up and you need to time crunch. Right? That is two of the most important things to have a good life. So what is the third one? I'll talk about the third one in a minute, guys. Talk about the third one in a minute. Guys, check it out. It's my new book, Top 25 Mistakes En Route to the Good Life. It is on Amazon. Hop on Amazon. Give me a review, guys. I want to be the Amazon top seller Amazon for the month. So help me out here. It's live on Kindle, so you can grab an ebook version or you can get the paperback. I am giving away some copies, free copies at the end of my webinar, autograph copies, as a matter of fact. Then they want to ask me a good question that I can answer during this webinar. So two things that I already talked about. I talked about mentoring up and I talked about time crunch. I'm going to talk about the third one in a minute. See here, I got to check Instagram. See what I got here. What's going on, guys, on Instagram? Give you guys a shout out. So mentoring up and time crunching. I have no idea what is going on with my YouTube live, but we are here YouTube as well. So Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I'm checking all you guys out. Once again, I said, guys, make sure you go on Amazon. I am live on Amazon. Live on Amazon. My new book, Lieutenant Sal Blue's Top 25 Mistakes En Route to the Good Life. Talk about some good things in this book, man. Some good things. You know, one of the things that I talk about, which is actually, believe it or not, is the third part of having a good life, right? And that is mentoring up, time crunch, and what do you guys think it is? Focus. Focus. Yes. And I know these seem like simple things that you can do, but most people don't do them, right? How many of you guys have dedicated, time of your day to focus on one thing at a time? How many of you have done it, right? How many of you guys dedicate a full, let's say, the first thing you wake up in the morning, you dedicate the first 30 minutes to kaizening your craft, whatever your craft is, learning something in it and getting better at it. How many of you guys have done it? Show of hands, me. I do it every day because it has become my habit, because someone told me that I needed to do it. It wasn't something, a revelation that I came up on my own. Someone told me to do it. They said, listen, if you want to get good at your craft, you need to mentor up. Carcavice, what's going on? You remember this picture? That's right. Got my new book on Amazon. Make sure you jump on there. Give me a review. I want to be the Amazon top sellers list today. All right, we're going to hit it. Hop on there. Okay, you can get the paperback version or the Kindle version. Both of them. Both of them are on Amazon, guys. So hop on Amazon and check it out. So mentoring up, guys, is very, very key and very, very important. Time crunching, right? And the only way you time crunch is you take mistakes that your mentor told you not to make, right? And you focus down on it, okay, in order to avoid making the same mistake, right? You learn from mistakes, but they don't have to be your own mistakes. That is the point I'm making, guys. You have to learn how to learn from others' mistakes. You can't just continually make the same mistakes over and over again, expecting to learn, right? You'll learn, but by the time you figure it all out, you're out of time, right? You're out of time. It's over, right? You got to treat every day like it's your last day. And that's why I talk about focusing down. You can't be having a conversation with somebody expecting to learn and at the same time scrolling through your Instagram feed. You just can't do it, guys. That is not going to get the growth that you want, right? You have to not even listen to music, sometimes, guys. When I talk about some of the things that I needed to do, one of the things that I needed to do was sit down for 15 minutes a day and just journal, just write. Yellow pad, pen, no music, in a room, and write, man. Just write thoughts that were coming to my mind so I can get them out of my head and keep it moving. When you have tons of thoughts in your head, then your focus is cloudy, right? Yes, sir, Carp. Thank you, brother. You know, your focus is cloudy. Your focus is cloudy, and you are not getting the most out of whatever you're putting your focus into. I don't care whether it is learning how to grow an indoor garden, okay? Either way, you're not fully focused on it because you're doing tons of other things. So I'm telling you guys, other than relaxing, right? You can't just be doing other things. Well, then again, let's talk about this. When you're relaxing, you should be totally focused on relaxing. You should be trying to relax and trying to think about work at the same time. It just doesn't work, guys. So, by the way, got my book here, guys. Check me out. Make sure you guys check me out on Amazon. It is live on Amazon. I'm making sure I hit the top Amazon top sellers list this month with my book, Lieutenant Sal Blue, Top 25 Mistakes en Route to the Good Life. So mentoring, time crunch, and focus will give you a good life, guys. It will give you a good life. Yeah. We've been going at this for a little bit. I'm gonna take a break from this, and probably gonna. You guys have a good Easter. You guys have a good Easter. Yeah. See. Happy Easter, you guys. If you guys celebrate Easter. All right, happy Easter, guys. Enjoy important time with your family. Enjoy the good moments that you can't get back, right? Leave the past where it is in the past. Continually moving forward. You can't go back. The mistakes you made, right? There are mistakes in the past. The only thing you can do is move forward and learn from the mistakes you made in the past. Understand, guys, if you guys continually move forward, you will achieve a good life. But do you want to achieve that good life when you're 90? Or do you want to achieve it in your 30s and 40s and so on and so forth, long before you get to your 90s, right? I had the chance to visit an assisted living where my dad was staying, and I talked to a lot of people there, and man, those people live with a lot of regrets. They have a lot of regrets and they have a lot of stories that they want to talk to people about in order to get you not to make the mistakes that they made. Not to make the mistakes. One of the strong things that somebody told me, two things, and I'll share that with you guys. The first thing was they said, don't stop moving. Yeah. 82-year-old lady told me, she said, no matter what you do, don't you ever stop moving. Walk every day, exercise every day, keep moving, stay functional. She said, it has allowed me to have the life that I want, go to places that I want, and do the things that I want. So she told me to keep moving and be functional. And I think that should be my advice to you guys. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of advice, some takeaway advice. Um, so one of the first things I want to tell you guys is listen, hey, keep moving. Keep moving. Don't stop moving. Be functional. Stretch every day. Run, jog, walk. Whatever you got to do, guys. Do your exercise, move your hands, run in place, whatever. But do it every day. You know, one of the most important things that I make sure I do every day, I do my spin bike twice a day, but I do 10,000 steps a day. 10,000 steps a day because because of that bit of advice that I got from an 82-year-old lady. She told me, don't you ever stop moving. Okay. The next thing, a bit of advice I want to give you guys before we wrap it up here is let the past be in the past. Right? Let the past be in the past. Someone told me that a long time ago, and I found it difficult to achieve that. I kept trying to rewind the mistakes that I made and go back to shoulda, woulda, coulda. You can't do that. Nobody can do that I know of, unless you're a time traveler. All right. So leave the past in the past. That's my second bit of advice to you guys. Right? Keep moving and leave the past in the past. Two strong advice, bits of advice that I got from visiting the senior citizens home, senior citizens. Um, the next bit of advice that I got from an older gentleman, and he was about 86 years old, and he told me to be bold. Be bold. Um, he said it, God knows how many times, but he held my hand and he said, son, be bold. Be bold. Right? Be bold. So I wrote a book. I always wanted to write a book. So I wrote a book, Being Bold. Right? I want to jump out of an airplane. I jumped out of an airplane. Being bold. Okay? It's things that you guys want to do in life. It's things that you guys want to do in life, and you haven't done it because why? Why? Why haven't you done the things that you want to do in life? Why? Because you're afraid. You are afraid. But guess what you can't be at the same time? You can't be bold and be afraid. Be bold, guys. Be bold. Be bold. Take chances, right? Don't let people talk you out of having the life that you want, only to get old to have a regret that you didn't do the things that you want to do in life. Don't do it, guys. Don't do it. And another thing, guys, sure as I wrote this book, don't be afraid to teach others not to make the same mistakes you made so that they can have a better life. It is okay. It's okay for other people to have a better life even though you didn't have a better life soon enough. It's okay, right? Because I believe that if you, right, take the time out to help someone else to have a better life, right? Karma is so strong. It will come along and it will bring you joy beyond your belief. All because of the action that you took unselfishly to allow someone else to learn from your mistakes. Guys, it is important. You guys gotta do this. You guys gotta do this, right? So anyway, keep moving. Guys, keep moving, right? Leave the past in the past, unless you're a time traveler. If you're a time traveler, I got some things I need you to fix for me, some money issues. Okay, and be bold, right? I cannot say be bold enough, guys. It's things out there that you guys have wanted to do your whole life. I waited my entire 28-year career, right, to write a book. I wasn't being bold in the beginning. You know, I love my career and I love what I've done in law enforcement. I love what I've done to people and the teaching and the academy and special ops and every mission that I've been on. Okay. It is a story that I can tell in my life and some of the stories I even tell in my book. But one of the most important things that I wanted to do was to be bold in other areas of my life. See, when you're in a career, it's easier to be bold, okay, when you have to support an entire group of people. But when it comes to doing things that you truly want to do all your life, is it really, okay, easy? No, it's not. You're gonna have to step out. You're gonna have to be bold. Okay, you're gonna have to focus on what you need to do, and you're gonna have to kaizen that craft to get better and better and better, so that eventually, okay, being bold becomes a habit. Being bold becomes a habit, guys. So listen, anyway, you guys check me out on Amazon, right? Want to make the Amazon top sellers list? Make sure you go in there, buy my book, give me a review. You can buy the ebook, or you can buy my paperback. I'll be giving away some free copies, free copies of my book, autograph copies of my book. Guys, just shoot me a email. Let me write my email down for you guys. What is my email? I believe it's Lieutenant Sal Blue at top 25. I'm gonna check. Let me check. Make sure that's my email, guys. Let me check. Oh, correction. It's the other way around. Top 25 at Lieutenant. All right, guys. Well, so give me a shout out, right? It's top 25 at lieutenantsalblue.com. Give me a shout. I send you a free copy of my paperback, autograph copy. You guys just pay the shipping, and I will send you guys a copy in the mail. All right. Thank you guys for coming out today, helping me promote my new book. You guys have been awesome. You guys have a great night and a very, very happy Easter. And I will talk to you guys later. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your evening, that is. clicking on the YouTube feed to YouTube. I'm doing the Instagram and also Facebook. So we're going live on all three. And we're going to talk about the book. Live on Instagram. Next. Instagram, you there, Instagram? All right. We got Facebook. We got Instagram.